super, super lazy. Like one of the reasons I wanted to reach financial freedom is so that at 52, yesterday, I can go, hey, I'm retired and I don't have to work ever again in my life. Lazy was a powerful motivator. But I also don't want to displace a tenant. I don't want to be that jerk that buys a place and says, hey, you got to go, right? Most tenants don't live where, a lot of people, tenants or owners, doesn't matter, live paycheck to paycheck, don't have a deposit, don't have the funds to move, don't want to change school districts for their kids. Like all the chaos that's created when somebody just buys a house and forces a move. So I prefer to buy already occupied properties. I have bought some that were just rent ready, but I prefer to buy with the tenant in place because usually that's an owner that wants to exit. They're usually above 60 or 70. They've owned for a long time. This is their retirement. They want to sell and, right off into the sunset. So they haven't taken care of the place for a while. They haven't raised the rents for a while. So the tenants know the place is kind of run down. They're getting a great deal on their rents, but they know if somebody buys, they're going to get kicked out. So they haven't looked at what it takes to buy a property. A lot of tenants aren't buyers. A lot of people don't want to buy. They haven't looked at what prices are. They don't know what interest rates are. They don't know what it would take to go rent another place because the last time they moved into when they moved into this, which might have been, I have tenants that were there 16 years when I bought the place. They haven't even thought of renting a place in over a decade.
Holy cow.
So I educate them. I make a 3-ring binder, and that's why we call it the binder. The first page is an image of the property. And the first thing I share with the tenants, they don't care about. But I'm being transparent with information they can find online anyways. The image of the property is from Redfin or Zillow or whatever platform you use that shows the price I paid, which they're going to find online in a month anyways, or the Zestimate or Zillow, estimate of what the property value is. And I explain, this is the property I just purchased. Here's what I paid. And if they've lived there for a long time, I'll say, here's the estimate that the county tax assessor is going to use for my taxes and for my insurance on replacement value. These are the numbers I'm working with. Tenants don't care about your expenses. The next page is a picture from apartments.com or Redfin or Zillow of all the rentals, the actual map of the pinpoints of the rentals that are for rent in the area that have the same number of units or amenities. So if you have a garage, they have a garage. If you have 2 bedrooms, it's 2 bedrooms. You're not showing 3 or 4. You're showing exactly the same type of unit that you're renting. If it's a house, I do house. If I do duplex, I do duplex or townhouse, or something where you have shared walls. And I say, these are all the rentals in the area. And then every page after that is an actual printout of those rentals. How many bedrooms, what they're renting for, to educate the tenant on what the current rents are in the area. If they have to move, they decide they don't want to stay in this unit and they want to move, this is what you'll be paying in this area. I slide the binder to the tenant because what tenant's ever been involved in this conversation? Normally we're just told as a renter, here's your rent.
0.
I slide the binder to them and I ask, what's that, Stacey?
I was going to say, this is amazing.
So I slide the binder to them and I ask them, what do you think would be fair? So here's an example. I did the binder strategy. Normally I do it when I purchase a property, and then after that, it's just a 5% increase every other year. And that's kept me fine. But in 2021, because of the pandemic in 2020, when rents were frozen, you couldn't evict, all these things happen, 2021 rents skyrocketed. So I did this strategy with existing tenants across the board. There were tenants that were paying $1,150 and $1,175. I showed them comps in the area at $1,500 to $1,600. $1,650 were some really high-end ones. So the units your size, 2 bedrooms in this area, are renting for $1,500 to $1,600. You're paying $1,150. What do you think would be fair? If I came to that tenant and said, hey, everything costs more, I'm going to raise your rent $200, they would probably be upset.
Right.
You just said my rent's going up $200, but when I show, if you moved, it's going to be $1,500 or $1,600. You have the cost of moving. You have to find a place. If you stay, I don't have to do a rehab. So I know you're not going to go to 15 or 16. That's what I would get if you moved out, right? What do you think would be fair? Both tenants went to $1,460. So they asked for over a $300 increase to their rent and were happy because they were involved in the conversation. They knew what the options were if they decided not to stay. They know I'm not getting the best deal. They know they're not getting the best deal. A compromise is when both sides lose a little. But they don't have to move. I don't have to do a rehab. I do take care of the place, fix things up. One of the first things I do when I acquire a new property is I replace the locks with coated locks. I put in motion sensor LED lights, and I ask the tenant if there's anything that they would like to have fixed that I didn't find in the inspection. And usually it's really small things like we would like a screen door or fix the ceiling fan. It's nothing big, but I do that. So I take care of the place. Tenants are happy. I've used this with Section 8. In Thurston County, Section 8 told me we'll pay $1,800 for your 3-bedroom place, and that's it. And I said, well, here's some emails of all the 3 bedrooms in this exact same area that are renting for 23 and 2,400. And I would like to go to 22. And they said, sure. So even for a government authority that had a set price for rents, they said, no, you've done our work for us. You've shown us what the current area average is on real examples that are for rent now. And you're not even going to that. So they went to that. So I've got that rented at 2,200 now because of some emails.